At the end of Act 3, we saw Juliet saying she was going to go ask Friar Lawrence for advice. Act 4, Scene 1 takes us to Friar Lawrence and Juliet's conversation. But first we have to deal with Paris. He is at the church telling Friar about the plans for him to get married to Juliet. He says, Friar Lawrence says, "On Thursday, sir, the time is very short. My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste. You say you do not know the lady's mind? Uneven is the course. I like it not." So, like Romeo and Juliet, Paris and Juliet also do not know each other, and yet are going to be married. Theme of knowing and not knowing people. And the reason they're getting married so quick, Paris is going to explain. "Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore I little talk of love. For Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she do give her sorrow so much sway." Of course, Lord Capulet thinks she is too sad. "And in his wisdom hastes our marriage to stop the inundation of her tears, which, too much minded by herself alone, may be put from her by society." Now, do you know the reason of this haste? So, the reason they're getting married so quick is because, one, Lord Capulet is bothered that Juliet is so sad about Tybalt's death, or so he thinks. It's only been like 3 days, but Lord Capulet thinks she should be over it by now. And he thinks marrying Paris will cheer her up. Because who doesn't want to marry a weird stranger? Okay. "I would I knew not why it should be slowed. Look, sir, here comes the lady toward my cell." So here comes Juliet. And we know that she's not going to be happy about this. "Happily met, my lady, and my wife. That may be, sir, when I may be a wife. That may be must be, love, on Thursday next. What must shall be, that's a certain text." So Juliet's using the same wordplay she's used before back in Act 1, Scene 3, I believe, to trick her parents into believing she was interested in Paris. She's going to do the same thing right now. "Come you to make confession to this father? To answer that, I should confess to you. Do not deny to him that you love me." Paris, you weirdo. "I will confess to you that I love him." We know who that him is. That's Romeo. And we'll add in Juliet is a lot more clever than we give her credit for. "So will you, I am sure, that you love me. If I do so, it will be of more price being spoke behind your back than to your face. Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears. The tears have got small victory by that, for it was bad enough before their spite. Thou wrongst it more with tears with that report." So he's saying, you have such a pretty face, but you gotta stop crying. And they go back and forth. Juliet wants to talk to Friar Lawrence privately. Paris is a creep. And we get to Juliet and Friar Lawrence alone. "Oh, shut the door, and when thou hast done so, come weep with me, past hope, past care, past help. Oh, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strange me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county. Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. So if you can't help me, she's just like Romeo, I'll kill myself. And she goes on about how sad she is that the situation is the way that it is. So we'll go ahead and skip on down to a few important lines from Friar Lawrence. If, rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then it is likely thou will undertake a thing like death to chide away this shame. So we're about to get Friar Lawrence's crazy plan. And throughout this scene, we get a lot of death imagery, death references. You see it all throughout this section with Juliet. Where we go, dead men's rattling bones, new made grave, dead man in his shroud. Lots of references to death. And then this is the important part. This is when we get to Friar Lawrence's brand new plan. So, go home, be merry, give consent to marry Paris. Agree to marry him. Then tomorrow night, make sure that you go to bed alone. Don't let the nurse sleep in the same bedroom as you. You got to be alone. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilling liquor drink thou off. When presently, liquid, not like alcohol liquor. When presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, for no pulse shall keep his native progress, but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. So remember, Friar Lawrence is an apothecary. We saw that at the very beginning. So he's giving her this potion that will make her appear dead. She's not actually dead. It's just going to make her look dead. She's going to be like in a coma, basically. Remember that, appear dead. The roses in thy lips and cheeks shall fade to pale ashes, thy eyes' windows fall like death when he shuts up the day of life. Thou shalt continue 42 hours, so maybe about 2 days, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, and there art thou dead, then, as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to the same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. So, when they discover her Thursday morning, she is going to look dead. So, they're going to put her in the Capulet mausoleum, which is sort of like an above-ground grave. So, she's not going to be buried alive. She's just going to be put in the mausoleum. But I don't know how to spell that. In the meantime, you're going to wake up in there. Freaky. I'm going to write a letter to Romeo. So he's going to know what's up. He's going to sneak in, wake you up in the tomb, and then you guys are going to run away together to Mantua. So this plan is bonkers, but the situation is also bonkers. So it is what it is. But you're seeing how it's starting to get more complicated and more convoluted. And we're waiting to see how it's going to fall apart. Because this is a tragic play. We know it's going to end badly with their deaths. And we're kind of starting to see how this whole crazy plan by the friar is unraveling. So he